Hey race fans, Mike Higley with another Tech Tuesday. I want to start out and say thank you so much. When we come up with this idea around Christmas time, we decided to do 4 segments: front, rear, shocks and springs, just talking about all the different types of adjustments. We also aligned with USRA and kind of did that body segment. Really thankful for all the views that we got, as well as all the feedback that we've got. As we move this into summer, we're going to ask you, the race fans, what you want to see. The first one, as we asked it, was right here. What do we do in the cockpit? Talking about where we put our steering wheel, where we put our seat, what we look at and things that we do, as well as how to use your brakes. We got a lot of questions about brakes, so we're going to kind of dive in there. Let's check it out. All right, so I've gotten in my race car and I'm going to talk about some of the things that are really important to me. The first one is my seat position. This is not a Sunday cruise. I'm flying my fighter jet, so my seat goes straight up and down as I'm driving my car. The second one is where I put my steering wheel. There's 3 spokes on the steering wheel, and I always make sure that I keep one of them at 12 o'clock. What's important about this is as I'm going around the racetrack, if I hit something with my front tires, I can use that spoke to determine whether or not my alignment's knocked out if my spoke turns away from 12. The second one is with my hands at 10 and 2. As I drive my race car, I can use my in-car footage to know that if my left hand goes past 12 o'clock to the right, that I'm probably too loose. And if my right hand goes past 12 o'clock to the left, then I'm probably too tight. So if you're a race car driver like I am, you keep your hands at 10 and 2, and you see your hands going past 12 o'clock over the top one way or another, it can signify how your car is handling. Also important in the cockpit is just making sure you have plenty of room. Making sure that on-off switch, that toggle switch, isn't somewhere where you'll accidentally hit it. As well as if you look on my brake bias, we've actually done a little trim work so that as I control my brake bias, we can make sure that I've got plenty of clearance and plenty of room. You should be comfortable to where you can be aggressive. And lastly, where do I put my pedals? When I have my pedals in the car, I want my feet almost a little up to me. My goal is for my right foot, my gas pedal, to be the most comfortable when I'm about 60% throttle. It's where we spend most of our time on the racetrack, between 60 and 100%. What I don't want is my foot to get way out where I'm on my tippy toes, way out. Brakes, nice and tight, should work good for us. Now we're gonna move up and talk about how do you adjust your brakes, how to make sure your brakes are set right. All right, so we're gonna talk about the brakes and the importance of where you have them set and how to use your brakes on the racetrack. So on my car, I have my clutch master cylinder, and then I have my rear brake master cylinder, and then my front. So it's clutch, rear, front. I start out with 100% rear brakes. So if you have your brake bias, mine is cranked all the way to the right or all the way to the rear. With 100% rear brake or dialed all the way back to the rear brake, that's going to make the car looser as I press the brake pedal. As the track slows down or slicks off, I will dial my brakes towards the front. I will put left turns in or counterclockwise turns that will tighten the car up on the brakes as the brakes start to move towards the front. So as we look down at the block, what's important to see is right now I'm all the way on the rears. As I take turns to the left, it's going to move out away from the block, and those turns will add additional front brake, which will tighten the car up. So I start 100% rear, and then as the track slicks off, I put front brake in it to tighten the car up as I press the brakes. Okay, so we looked at what the brakes look like up front. Now we're going to take a look in here. So like I said, I start out 100% rear brake or to the right. To tighten my race car up, I put left turns in, counterclockwise turns. Yours may be different. You need to verify where your master cylinders are. But when you have clutch, rear brake, front brake, right to the rear to loosen the race car up, left to the front will tighten you up as you squeeze that brake pedal. So as the track slicks off, dial that front brake in and then use that to help hold the attitude of the car right. We're also going to talk about just a few comfort and safety items. While I talked about I want that seat straight up and down, we always make sure that I have plenty of clearance. So as I get my seat belts on, I'm pulled down in and I have my helmet, we have plenty of clearance to the roof. Remember, them belts will stretch over an inch if you get in a bad wreck. I want to make sure I have a nice, safe compartment. And lastly, those seat belts, as they come up over the top, we want to make sure there's lots of clearance. So as that hooker harness comes out of the belt, comes out of the seat, and up over the top, that belt should come out straight and then turn down as it goes over my chest. You don't want your belts curving up or down. You also want to make sure that you're not in the sheet metal really bad. Lastly, we're going to talk about just looking, where I look and what I do. I'm looking way out the car. You hear all the jokes about guys are just staring at their air cleaner, they're just looking at their radiator cap. Especially when I'm racing in traffic, I'm trying to look 50 to 100 feet out in front of me. At 100 miles an hour, well, you're going to catch something very quickly. And if you can see that wreck coming at you the minute that it starts instead of the minutes at your front bumper, chances of missing it really go up. All right, there's our cockpit segment of our Tech Tuesday. I want to thank you for your feedback, and I'm going to challenge you for some more. The next Tech Tuesday, we're going to talk about reading a racetrack. We're actually going to go out to one of our local tracks and watch as it progresses through the night, from muddy and fast to slick and slow, and just talk about what we're looking for on the racetrack, the lines that I would run, and the adjustments that I would make. I want to hear what you guys want to see in the next segments. So give me your feedback. Go to our Facebook page, Prime Racing Products, and let us know what you'd like to see. Thanks, guys.